Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello guys, today we are learning two chapters, matter and its three state and four work and energy. Coming in PA2. A solute, a substance that dissolves in another substance is called a solute. For example, sugar dissolves in water and forms a solution in this solution. Sugar is the solute. A solvent, a liquid substance in which another substance dissolves, is known as the solvent. In a solution of water and sugar, water is the solvent. Sugar solute plus water is solvent is equal to sugar solution. Formation of sugar solution. Sugar plus water. Keywords: liter, unit used mostly to measure volume of a liquid. Mass, the amount of matter contained in an object. Matter, anything that has mass and occupied space. Solute, a substance which dissolves in a liquid. Solution, formed when a solute dissolves in a solvent. Solvent, a liquid substance in which another substance dissolves. Substance, a matter with definite properties, volume, space occupied by an object. Sixth chapter, Class 4, Matter and its three states. We see different kinds of things around us. Some of them are living, whereas some are non-living. Some are natural, whereas some are human-made. Do you know what all these things are made of? Everything is made up. Everything is made up of matter. Every grain of sand, every drop of water, every rock, and even the air are all matter. Plants and animals too are matter. The bones, blood, teeth, nails, hair, and everything else in our body are some kinds of matter. All human-made things, from a tiny pin to the longest train, are matter. The sun, the moon, and the stars are all matter. What is matter? Anything that has mass and occupies space, volume, is called matter. What is mass? The mass of an object is the amount of matter contained in it. For example, the mass of a glass bowl is the amount of glass it contains. Similarly, the mass of a notebook is the amount of paper it contains. Mass can be measured using a beam balance. Mass is measured in kilograms. Kg, a small amount of mass, is measured in grams and milligrams. A small amount of gold, for example, is measured in grams and milligrams. What is volume? The volume of an object is the space occupied by it. The volume of water in a tumbler is the space occupied by the water in the tumbler. Similarly, the volume of a stone is the space occupied by the stone. Volume is measured in cubic centimeters. Is air made up of matter? Let us find out. Air occupies space. Take an empty tumbler. Place a dry piece of newspaper in it. Push the tumbler straight downwards in a bucket filled with water as shown in A. Keep the tumbler pushed at the bottom of the bucket for a while. Then, keeping the tumbler in the same position, carefully remove the tumbler out of the bucket as shown in B. Check the piece of paper, is it wet or dry? Why? The tumbler, which appears empty, is actually filled with air. The air does not let water enter the tumbler, which is why the paper remains dry. This proves that air occupies space and therefore has volume. Air has mass. Measure the mass of a large deflated balloon using a digital balance capable of measuring mass in milligram. Note the mass of a deflated balloon. Now fill the balloon with air and measure its mass again. Is there a slight increase in mass? The mass of the inflated balloon increases because air has mass. Take the correct option. A computer is made up of matter. True. Mass is measured only in gram. False. Does water occupy space? Let us find out. Fill a tumbler up to the brim with water. Gently place stone in it. What happens to the water in the tumbler? Why? Water flows out from the tumbler. All the space in the tumbler was occupied by water. So some of the water flows out to make space for the stone. The three states of matter. Matter can be solid, liquid, or gas. These are the three states of matter. In nature, water exists in all the three states. The rainwater is liquid, so the water in rivers, lakes, ponds, and wells, oceans, and sea also have water in liquid state. Ice and snow are the solid states of water. High mountain tops are covered with snow and the polar region of the earth have ice. When water is heated, it changes into water vapor. Water vapor is the gaseous state of water. Ice solid, water liquid, water vapor gas. Three states of water. Solid. A stone is a solid object. It has a definite shape, a definite volume, and a definite mass. You may lift the stone and place it anywhere you like. Its shape will not change and it will always occupy the same amount of space. Objects made up of wood, metal, glass, clay, paper, cotton, and plastic are solid at room temperature. Properties of solid. When matter is in the solid state, it has the definite properties, definite shape, definite volume, definite mass. Liquid. Water, oil, and milk are liquids. Do they have a definite shape like a stone or a piece of wood? Let us find out. Pour the same quantity of water in containers of different shape. Does water have the same shape when you pour it in different containers? No. Does water have a different shape? No. Now look at the picture given alongside. What happens when you pour water on the table? Does it flow? Yes. From the activity, We have understood that a liquid does not have any definite shape. It takes the shape of the container it is poured into. A liquid always flows. It flows from a higher level to a lower level. A liquid has a definite volume. Liter is the unit used to measure the volume of liquid. The volume of a small amount of liquid is measured in milliliter. When a liquid is poured from one container into another, its volume does not change. For example, 1 liter of milk, whether it is filled in sachet or a glass jug, remains 1 liter. Its volume does not change. A liquid also has a definite mass. A liquid has a definite volume. Properties of liquid matter in the liquid state has the following properties. It does not have a definite shape. It has a definite volume. It flows from a high level to a lower level. It has a definite mass. Gas. A gas has a definite mass, but it does not have a definite volume or shape. Gases spread in the entire available space and so do not have a definite volume. Smoke is a gaseous state of matter. Light and increase stick. Does the smoke spread anywhere in the room? Yes. Everywhere in the room. Yes. Does the smoke have any shape? No. Does the smoke of a definite shape? No. If a gas filled in a small bottle is transferred into a large bottle, and the mouth of the bottle is closed, the gas spreads and occupies the entire space of the bottle. Thus, the volume of the gas changes. If a gas is allowed to spread in an open space, it mixes with the air. Thus, if a gas is allowed to spread in a in an open space, it mixes with the air. Thus, a gas does not have a definite volume or shape. A gas does not have a definite volume. Properties of gas. A gas has the following properties. It does not have a definite shape. It does not have a definite volume. It flows and spreads in the entire available space. It has a definite mass. Matter, solid, has a definite shape, has a definite volume, have a definite mass. Liquid, don't have a definite shape, has a definite volume, has a definite mass. Gases, don't have definite shape, don't have definite volume, but have definite mass. States of matter can change. Heat can change the state of matter. A solid melts into a liquid when heated to a certain temperature. Ice, wax, sugar, iron, silver, and gold, for example, melt when heated. The temperature at which a solid melt varies. Wax, for example, melts at a very low temperature and iron melt iron metal melts at a very high temperature. A liquid usually changes into a gas when heated. Water changes into water vapor when heated. Liquid wax changes into its gaseous form when heated. Upon cooling, a gas usually changes into a liquid. For example, when water vapor is cooled, it changes into water. Did you know sand melts if heated to about 1700 degrees Celsius, whereas water boils at 100 degrees Celsius? Bicure a moment. Take a metal tumbler and fill it with ice cold water. Do you notice some water droplets on the outer surface of the tumbler? After some time, there is a water vapor in air which is not visible. When it comes in contact with the cold surface of the tumbler, it changes. There is water vapor in air which is not visible. When it comes in contact with the cold surface of the tumbler, it changes into water droplets. A liquid can be frozen into a solid on cooling. Water, for example, turns into ice on cooling. Ice on heated change into water. Water vapor. What water on cooling become ice. A solution. A matter. A solution. A matter which defines properties is called a substance. A matter with definite properties is called a substance. Water, coconut oil, sugar, silver, metal, and oxygen gas are some examples of substances. When one substance dissolves in another substance, a solution is formed. For example, sugar dissolves in water and forms a sugar solution. Similarly, salt dissolves in water and forms a salt solution. A solution has two components, a solute and a solvent. A solute, a substance that dissolves in another substance, is called a solute. For example, sugar dissolves in water and forms a solution. In this solution, sugar is the solute. A solvent, a liquid substance in which another substance dissolves, is known as the solvent. In a solvent of water and sugar, in a solution of water and sugar, water is the solvent. Sugar solute plus water is solvent is equal to sugar solution. Formation of sugar solution. Sugar plus water dissolving solids in water. Many solid substances dissolve in water quickly by stirring. Moreover, hot water dissolves more amount of substances. Let us do the following activities to understand this. Talk about it. Find out the recipe for making a lemonade. List the solute and the solvent present in the lemonade. A moment. Take two glass tumblers A and B. Fill half of the each tumbler with water. Add a teaspoon of sugar to both the tumblers. Do not Stir the water in tumbler A. Stir the water in tumbler B with a spoon. In which tumbler did the sugar dissolve quickly? Take two glass tumblers A and B. Take half of the cup of cold water in tumbler A. Add half a teaspoon of salt and stir. When the salt dissolves, add another half a teaspoon of salt to the water. Repeat this process until the salt you add does not dissolve. Note the number of half teaspoon of salt that you could dissolve in the tumbler containing cold water. Now pour the same quantity of water into tumbler. Now pour the same quantity of hot water into tumbler B. Dissolve salt in the same manner as you did in tumbler A. Note the number of half teaspoons of salt that you could dissolve in the tumbler containing hot water. Does hot water dissolve more salt? Yes. Some gases such as oxygen and carbon dioxide also dissolve in water. Fish use the oxygen that has dissolved in water. The soda water that we get in stores contains dissolved carbon dioxide gas. Did you know when you pour cola in a glass, will you observe small bubbles forming when the dissolved carbon dioxide gas escape from water bubble form? Keywords: liter, unit used mostly to measure volume of a liquid. Mass, the amount of matter contained in an object. Matter, anything that has mass and occupied space. Solute, a substance which dissolves in a liquid. Solution, formed when a solute dissolves in a solvent. Solvent, a liquid substance in which another substance dissolves. Substance, a matter with definite properties, volume, space occupied by an object.